Hi guys. Hi guys. Hi guys. This is Mohammed Tawfiq. Today I have a live session with you, and all purpose of today live session is to tell you more about the Flutter development, which is more in the market nowadays. So first thing you need to learn what is Flutter. Flutter basically open source platform given by Google for uh, in which a single code based application can be developed. So, first of all, I will introduce myself. This is Mohammed Tawseed. I have a professional experience in Android development, plus Flutter development. So, I have worked with different companies, analyze all the things related to web development, how it's easy, and how to make any type of applications. So, I started my career as a Android developer. So let's move forward. Uh, then I start Flutter development. I check there is many trends on the Flutter as well. So there's many things in the Flutter development. The first thing you need to learn what is Flutter. Flutter basically cross-platform development, an open source framework given by Google. So in this framework, you can build Android, iOS, and web application for different platforms as well using single code base. Here you can see that this is the Flutter Developer Professional official website where you can see all the documentations related to a Flutter is given here. So, purpose of today's session is to you need to learn which things that you can easily become Flutter developer, and you must have a knowledge about the widgets and all the things that are used in the Flutter. Definitely, in the start of every uh, platform, you need to learn language. And definitely in the Flutter programming, you need to learn chart programming language. Uh, that programming language you need to learn first, and you need to learn the syntax, how Dart works, and all the syntax related to Dart development, uh, Dart programming language. Once you have a knowledge how to work with the Dart programming language, definitely in the start you need to learn the data types. First, you need to learn data types. Then you need to learn these iterations, for loops, and array list. All the things definitely exist in all programming languages. Before you start Flutter development, so that is important. Once you have knowledge about that, so you then go for the Flutter development. So definitely in the start, for the Flutter development, you need ID. So the ID for the Flutter development is Android Studio and VS Code. Both IDs is used for the Flutter development, and it depends upon you and what configurations you have in the systems. First thing, you need to learn how to set up Flutter in your system. That is the main point you need to learn in the Flutter. How there's many operating system. Here you can see Windows, Mac OS, Linux, Chrome. So depends upon your system. If you have a Windows, then you go for the Windows. If you have a Mac, all the installing instruction is giving on this official websites. Like if you have a window, let's click on the window. Uh, Definitely, there is a system requirements once you want to install the Flutter into your system. That totally depends upon your system requirements. At least minimum requirement you should have. This at least should be 8 GB, minimum 8 GB RAM and Core i5. I would recommend Core i5 system that you need to have. And definitely once you install the Android Studio, then you need to install the virtual devices that consume a lot of memory in your system, so that's why you need a high RAM in your system. And definitely you need a good processor in your system. So in the start, here you can see the Flutter SDK, software development kit. So in the start, you need to have a Flutter SDK in your system. So you need to configure the SDK in your systems. Here you can see that first you need to download this zip, and you need to place in the source and Flutter folder. Definitely, you need to update your Flutter path in the user variables. Uh, Let me show you how you will save the Flutter path. Let's suppose you have downloaded the Flutter SDK and you placed the SDK in the C folder in the source directory. Let me show you how where you need to store save the environment variables. Yeah, you can see that there's environment variables. Once you click on this, here you have two type of user variables and system variables. One thing you need to remember in this that sorry, you need to have a path, and you need to just edit this path, and you will see I have already installed Flutter in my system. So things you need to do, placed the path in this place, and just placed OK, press OK. Then you do need to save OK, press OK. So this is the basic thing you need to do before you start Flutter development. These all the steps you need to follow, and all the documentation is present on the sites as well. I will share the link in the description as well. So let's check if you have already installed Flutter. So how you can check where Flutter, sorry, where Flutter dot. Once you click here, you can see that this is telling me that there is about this place on where Flutter is installed. So if I can just type Flutter, if Flutter is already installed in your system, so here's the way how you can check uh, Flutter is installed or not. You can check here's so it means Flutter is already installed in my system. So after installing the SDK in your system and placing the environment variables, then you need to install the plugins like you have VS Code. So let me check. You need to install the VS Code in your system, you have multiple choices. Either install VS Code or you can install as an Android Studio. So it's all the things depends upon you. Uh, I would recommend you can go for the uh, it solely depend on, so nothing is different, just IDs and look and feels is different, and you have already built in virtual devices in Android Studio. If you have experience as an introvert development, so you can go for the Android Studio. If you but if you have a low configuration the systems and like your RAMs and processor is not efficient to support Android Studio, then you go for the Visual Studio VS Code. Just download this from this path and install in your system. Here you can see if you have a Mac, then you go for it. If you have a Windows, then you check this as well. So this is the basic steps you need to follow and into properly set up the Flutter in your system. So once this is which VS Code. So I will share one more thing with you. If you need to learn Dart and want to practice without installing any software, so you here we have a Dart pad uh, that allows you to check. So let's do invest some time on this before starting the Flutter development. Like if I print uh, here, you can say this is Dartpads, and Dartpad contains the main function. Main function is very important because compiler goes and check the main functions and print anything that available in the main function. Before I start any development, I will print hello world. That's it's a very man. Just wait. Also, just missing terminator is important in the dot as well. So just click on the run. Here you can see this is a console output. Hello world. Hello world is printing, and you can see there as well. Here you can just print hello world. So let's here we have multiple data types like string, integer, and doubles. All the data types is present, and there here we have num as well. So we need to understand the data types first before we start any developments. So it's important for us to let's I want to print my name using Dart language. So first name you can define the data types and the name. So these are the basic things. If you already have a programming knowledge, so this is the basic thing you need to remember. Like if I print developer, so I'm printing the developer. So it means that I need to print hello world. Uh, that you need basic things like add the dollar sign with the variable name if you want to print the variable with the string. Uh, Here you can see I missed the terminator, like hello world developer will be print on the screen. Just wait a moment. Thanks for remember this thing. Now you have a screen dot right? So I'm just telling here the basic things. I am starting with very basic things, and then you pick one in the Flutter developments. Here you can see that here we have a Dart pad that is used for the uh, Dart programming language. If you have do want don't want to install any software in your system, so here is a here is a site where you can online do Dart programming. Here just I define the you need to learn the data types for the Dart programming language, and here you can see I just print my I just print my name on the. Sorry, I just missed to share my screen, but my voice is clear to you, and now screen is shared with you, and I'm in short, I'm telling here all the basic things you need to learn for the Flutter developments. In the start, I just tell you that you need to have a Flutter SDK. Basically, it's very use. You need to install. You need to first download and paste SDK, then the C and the source and Flutter. So most important things that I told you before were that you need to do. You need to add the path in the environment variables like guys in just a moment. So that you need to, as told you before, environment variables in the important things you need to do in the solar system. So here once you click on this, so you need to define the path of the bin path. Here you need to define your path. I have already installed the Flutter in my system. I am telling the ways how you need to set up before you start Flutter developments. So this is the basic steps you need to follow, and then I told you you need to install the Android Studio or VS Code, but depends upon your system requirements. And that most important things you need to understand in the Flutter development and all the mobile application development. So you can see this is dart pad, and you can see this. I'm just telling the basic things here, like if you want to print a number, like suppose any number you want to print the dot, so you just need to define the using this way. These all the basic things you need to remember while doing your dart programming languages. I will tell you one more things, like if you want to uh, if you want to assign integer or double invert variable, so this is a useful things like a is equal to 12. So this is an integer. So integer is wait, just I'm showing one thing with you. Like if I print num, so it will print 12. So as I told you, there is an integer and decimal. So if you have a number that can be integer or decimal, like if you want to print 12.0, so good thing of this num is that it will print 12.0 as well, because it supports both integer and double as well. Like 12.1, it supports to our number and decimal as well. Here you can see this is a good thing of this num data type. So this is the basic thing, like in the Dart programming languages, data types, and if you want, let me tell you one more thing, like if you have a count is equal to 0, so let's bring the count variable. It will print 0 definitely. So if you want to increment the number variable, so you will use increment sign. If I print the count, so count will be 0 and 1. Uh, because I have defined initially it's 0. This is a good thing. You need to understand first. We used in many cases this behavior, like count. If I increase my count, like if I want to print with the string, so I will define after increment count value. So count value after decrement is 1. Again, if I print this statement, so result will be True. It means we are using incremental things here. Means we are using incremental. Mention in the comment if you have any questions on this point, so you can raise your question as well. This is basic things because if you have don't have a knowledge of the basic things, if you then you want to be a application development, but programming is the must thing. You need to learn basic as well. Like if you want to uh, store the true and false value, then you need to define here is a like it's live is false. It's like it's false. So bool contains two value, false or true, but depends upon your things as well. So that thing you need to learn before. If I print a live, so it will print me false. So that's all the basic things. That's in the waiting list. Sorry for the background noise. Like if if I have a number, num one is equal to 10 and num2 is equal to 20. So I'm introducing one more concept here. Like if you want to compare two things, so here we have a if condition statement. Num1 greater than num2. If you check num1 is greater than num2, so it means it will print num1 is not greater than, so it will print false. Else print else print true. So if we check our condition, num1 is false, so it will print false. Here I am checking the things. 1020. It should be print true. Not like you can see that num1 greater than num2. It's printing false statement. So these are the basic condition statement you need to run in this if statement. And if you have more condition, you can use else if as well. Else if is a num1 less than num2. Here you can see that it's printing num1 less than num2, so it means state statement. In the else case, we can print invalid condition. Like if I check invalid condition, so in this way print invalid conditions. So we have checked if statement in the single condition, we have checked if in the multiple condition as well. So now come to the for loop, and the for loop, and we want to print and count is equal to 0 and count so less than 10 and the count plus plus. So if we print count, here you can see that I have used the for loop here, in which we have defined the count less and count plus first. Uh, this is important thing that you need to remember if you want to do iteration on some data in your code, because if you familiar with a database and API, so you have a knowledge, you have a data coming from the API, you need to parse using for loop and using different iterations. Like if I were given here, you can need to understand first thing here. Count is equal to 0, count less than 10, and count plus plus. It means count less than 10. This loop will be run on the less than 10 count. Count plus plus means once first iteration is done, then go for the count plus plus, then do the second iteration on for the for loop and the print all the numbers on the console. So you can see that this is the console output. So this all the basic things I have covered in the short period of time for the talk. Now let's come to the our Flutter development part. Like I have installed the Flutter VS Code for the Flutter installation for the Flutter development in this system. So in the start, as I have told, you need to remember some commands like Flutter Docker tell you if you have successfully installed the Flutter in your system or not. Let's check. Here you can see that. So you can see there is a tick for the Flutter channel as well, and here's Chrome, all the Android Studio not installed the system, VS Code installed. This is found issues in three categories. So these are the issues that we can ignore because we have not installed Android Studio in our system. So if you want to create Flutter paint like first app. On this step, as I am creating using the Flutter command, you need to understand the first thing you need to use small case if you're going to create Flutter first time, and you need to remember this point. Flutter name of the project should be in the small case. Here, here you can see that Flutter is project is creating now. If you have any questions on this point, you can answer on the comment section. Okay, fine. Have you understand all the things that I have covered in this uh, last period of time? Yeah. So here you can see that first application has been created. First app. So this is the small things that you need to remember, and this the points that you remember when you using VS Code. Just click on the yes, I trust the authors. I just want to one more things tell you that you need to install all the recommended these plugins you need to install in all software. If you go for the VS Code, then you need to install Flutter. If you go for the Android Studio, then you need to install from the settings section from the Android Studio. I can tell you, but sorry, I have not installed Android Studio in my system. There is only VS Code. So you need to have our system is application is now ready to run. Let's run. Then go for here terminal. You need to type Flutter run. You have multiple options to run your projects. Either you can run in virtual devices or you can run on your physical device. For the virtual device, definitely you need to install the Android Studio. Once you install the Android Studio, virtual device will be show on you on this place, and you can easily install your application on the virtual device. If you want to install the application in physical device, then definitely you need to attach your device to your system, and you have to do some configuration in your device as well before you connect your device to the system. If you have any confusion in this point, you can ask in comment section. Later I will reply once I get free. So just pressed here too because I want to install on Chrome. So this is the structure and how you can proceed. Uh, You can see that project is building. It will run in short period of time. So sorry. As project is building right now, then we need to understand the first of all the structure of the project that is built by the Flutter SDK for us. Let's understand. Here you can see that there's Android folder and iOS folder, and there's build folder. Lib folder is important. You do all the programming of business logics, and all the widgets are defined in this, and all the dot files will be placed in the list folder. So one of the most important thing you need to remember, and PubSec YAML file is important file. If you want to install third-party applications in your project, then definitely you need to define on this in this file. If you want to install or use the custom fonts, or if you want to use the images in your project, definitely you need to first enable the things in your project as well before you integrate or preview the images in your project. So this is the default application built by Flutter once we create a new project. Here you can see that application is installed successfully, and if you click on this button, this is a default application built by Flutter for us and the start once we create a project the first time. So definitely in the start we have no knowledge how it works, what is doing in this application. So that's so first you need to understand how it works. As you can see, this is the main function as already told in the previous point, like once we was compiling the dot code. So in the start, you need to do first thing like delete all this material. As in the start, I don't need this, and because in the start we will build all the things on the sketch. So first thing you need to do is to run material app. This is the built-in widget that is available in the Flutter SDK. Definitely in the home section, let's use the basic widgets and use hello world. It's taking a little bit time. Look, hello world is print on the screen. So let's you need to understand the first thing that a widget is anything that you draw on the screen that we use for the user interaction. So there's many built-in widgets provided by Flutter that you can use easily in your project as well. One of them I have used in here. You can see text widget. Piece of the disk widgets. Like if you want to do some styling, then you can use text style, text style. So like if you want to change the color of the sorry to this color, just press Ctrl S. One important thing you need to sorry I just missed comma here. Just press and check. I'm just setting my screen that you can easily check how it's working. Let's uh, if you want to do like change the font size, like I want to change to 20. You can see. font size easily changed by using this property. If you want to you do yeah, some background color black, just press Ctrl S. Uh, so you can see that how easy to change the things using material widgets. One most important point you need to remember that Flutter by default use material guidelines. So you can see that here we easily define the font size and colored and the font size color of background color easily change. So important widgets, let's discuss if you want to do this text in the center. So that what we need to do first. We have a one more widget that is called the container. Container. This is basically container is box. We can place single child in this widget. Like it could be any widget. So let's do one more thing and control set and relax and place here. So if you want to do anything center in of the entire screen, then we have a widget center widget. So beauty of this widget is it's bring all its single child to the center of the screen. Let's check whether this work or not. Look, this is working fine. Let me do one more thing for easy understanding. Let's see. Sponsor. Just for that. So as you have seen, the center widget is working fine and it's printing on the screen. Actually, I'm making some settings so easily uh, we can see. I'm building the project again. Just where project is building. So here you have understood the center and text widgets. Let's check container widget how it works. So for time being, I'm just control X and placing here. So container widgets, why it's important in the Flutter development. So sorry, definitely as I told, it contains child. So before doing that, we can define height and width. Now it's look fine. Now you can see that hello world is printing center of the screen. That's save this and run. So you can see that nothing is will be shown on the screen. Reason is that we have used the container. We have given the width as well. So if we give some color, so you can easily check. Let's give the let's- Here you can see it on the top left corner, a small box is showing. Let me please. So here you can see that. Small solutions, okay, fine. So here you can see there's a container is drawn on the screen and the hello widgets is showing. So this is the way how you can draw the container on the screen. If you want to change the color, just I'm checking the display. So you can see the color of the code change. Let's check it. You have noticed one thing. It's taking very less time while building the build and because hot load reload function is very important in the Flutter development. You need to understand it first. Let's come to other things. Then you need to understand, like if you want to print two container on screen, then we need to do one another control next. We have multi-children widget in the Flutter. So that is we have a because we want to print the widgets either vertically or horizontally. If you want to print the widgets on the screen vertically, then you have to use column. Column align children in vertical way, and while row align children in horizontal way. Let's check it out. In the we have very short period of time. We have to wind up the things if you want to print more children. I have placed one child for the column, and now I am placing another child for the column. So I print box 1, then I print box 2. So this is the starting. Then we can use different color for this to check are they working or not. Just can save, and you can see that multiple box drawn on the screen. This is the beauty of this widget. So we can use multiple widgets in column. If you change into the row, so we can you can see that the alignment of the children is aligned to horizontally. So this is the basic thing you need to remember in the Flutter development. So one more thing, if you want to align, there's the two things underneath the main axis alignment dot center. Let's check what will happen as I am expecting these children would become in the center. So if you're thinking like if you want to give space between these widgets, so here we have a size box that we can use for giving space either height wise or like if you want to give some space. You can see I have given some little space. Let's give more space. You can easily check. So you can see that I have given space between these widgets and that is showing on the screen as well. So we have understand the container column as well as and how we can align multiple channels in one screen. So we can also use the nested things in this concept. Like if you want to use some another container with container, so we can easily use no restriction for it. So these are the basic concepts I have shared with you in short period of time. I hope you like this content and the session. If you have any question, you can ask in comment. Definitely, I will answer you in the comment inbox as well. If you have liked this session and want to learn more things about the Flutter development, and you have any suggestion for on this Flutter development, and you want to understand anything from me, you can mention in the comment. Definitely, next session would be held on in this month. Hopefully, because once I have a time, I want to share my knowledge to others. And thanks for watching this. Share and subscribe my channel too.